Good evening, folks. How is everyone? Good to see you all. Oh, let's see. It's a beautiful day. I wish I was on my iron, but my brand new tires, I mean my brand spanking new Dunlap Elite 4 rear tire with the chicken strips still on it, the little breasts still on it, has a nail. This is my third back tire to go out like that, where I don't even get one. Happened to me the day I bought it. I'm like the back tire blower. I don't get it. I got a video up where we were riding across the country heading back from California, and my whole back tire just came apart. A big old piece like this came out of it. So that's a $300 or more tire, and if I don't change it myself, it's $100 to. I don't want to change it myself. I've gotten old. I don't want to put it on my lift. I've got the whole thing. I can take it off the tire and take it off the rim and put it back on. I've got all that crap. The rim breaker downer. And I don't want to do it because it sucks. Especially taking that tire off of the Victory. I swear to God, it's a two-man job. But anyway, enough of my worries. I'm on my way down to go hang out with some of my brothers. I'll be in a cage, but you know how it is. And for those of you who don't know, and there's some folks who don't know, and some motorcycle clubs might do it a little differently, but you're not supposed to wear your colors while riding in a cage. The idea being that nothing should ever top your colors. So anyway, I wanted to talk about some things. I get questions all the time about this, that, and the other, and I was asked in a IM or email, Black Dragon, how do you meet with one percenters? How do you meet and greet one percenters? And I had to think about that, because I've been out here for so long. It's not something that I really think about. You could easily say, just like you meet and greet everybody else. But actually, I had to think about it, and there's a little bit more to it than that. So it's not something that I concentrate on a lot, because it's kind of second nature, but there is some protocol to it. So I thought I would take a few minutes to give you some of my thoughts on it, and some of the things that we do, because I don't talk about that side of the fence a lot. There's just so many videos out there and stuff you can see, but to not talk about it at all kind of leaves some of you guys in the dark, especially when you're starting brand new motorcycle clubs, or you're beginning to stretch out, or you're trying to put your motorcycle club in other states and all those things that you do. There will be times, a lot of times, when you deal with one percenters from a 99% perspective. So there are some things to know about meeting and greeting and hanging out with one percenters and being in places that they are. So this is not the be all tell all. For everything I tell you, there will be 100 different other ways that people do it. So these are the ways that I do it and the ways that I've seen it done. But my goodness, don't etch it in stone. Dragon said it, so it must be correct. There are other ways that you can go about doing some of these things, but there's some things to know. So in the motorcycle club world, there are levels of MC, with the 1%er MC being the most dominant MC at the top of the pecking order. It didn't always used to be that way. The AMA used to run motorcycle clubs, and they actually tried to take it over, and that created a lot of headache, and so this all worked itself out. So as things are these days, the 1% motorcycle club, also known as an outlaw motorcycle club, diamond motorcycle club, they are at the top of the food chain. They are the top dog, as it were. And then probably a traditional MC would be under that, and then under that would probably be maybe a co-ed MC, and then a woman's MC would be after that, and then I think riding club would probably be after that, something like that. So when you meet and greet and you're hanging out on the motorcycle set, and you got a whole bunch of 1%ers there, especially from different clubs, there are some things to know. So first of all, it is customary, and it is definitely good protocol to the 99% club will always introduce itself up. You'll always introduce up rather than expecting them to come and introduce down. So if you walk into a area where you have motorcycle clubs, a whole bunch of them, typically you go through and you greet everybody. But you should look to greet the 1%ers first. When you're greeting a 1%er, there are a few things to know. One is when you extend your hand, they may or may not take it. If they do take your hand, they may or may not give you a hug. So you don't automatically assume that you're going to greet a 1%er and give them a hug. They can be funny about that. So if they shake your hand, they're a little standoffish. That's just the way they are. Take it personally. The other thing is, if one does embrace you, it is a good idea to not hug them in such a way that you put your hand on their center patch. So the way I kind of do it is I just kind of hug the shoulder. You don't really want to touch their center patch. That's disrespectful to touch anybody's patch. Also, you never really want to refer to a 1%er as brother, bro, things like that, terms of endearment. Especially if you don't know them, you're not dear to them, and they're not your brother. They look at that term differently. Now, it's a little bit interesting for black men, because black men in the United States often call each other brother. And we will say, "What's up, brother?" based on the things we've gone through in the country over the past 400 years and blah, blah, blah. We'll see each other on the street and say, "What's up, brother?" But when you hit the motorcycle club world, it's a little bit different with that brother term. So, buddy, homeboy, all that kind of stuff, reserve that. How are you? What's up? If their name is on their chest, can always call them by their motorcycle club name, or by their motorcycle club. You know, what's up, Devil's Brothers? How are you? So stay away from the terms of endearment, because you don't know them and they're not your brother. Holy moly, this car is doing 200 miles an hour behind me. What else? So if you meet them, you greet them, you see them, you go up to them, they're not going to bite your head off. They're not animals. They're just, they have a different approach to their brotherhood than you do. But you still might have to, you might have to go to a coalition meeting of some kind, where you're trying to maybe get your motorcycle club recognized or whatever. So you're going to have to meet and greet and deal with those guys. So you have to think of it like respect. That's all that's really required. That's all that's really necessary. Respect. That's all they want, is to be respected. It's that protocol that exists that keeps people talking, speaking the same language, and everything running smoothly, like a well-oiled wheel. When you're out at a motorcycle club and you're hanging around, and you should practice this no matter what, you never talk negatively about an MC, especially a 1% MC, especially in public. You never know who's listening. These guys don't always wear their colors. That lady sitting at the bar that no one's talking to could be somebody's old lady. So saying things to someone that you would not repeat in public and open, that's not a good idea when you're out on the motorcycle set. Follow the golden rule. If you don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. Don't say anything at all. It keeps you from having to eat crow later. So keep negative comments to yourself. And you don't have to be something that you're not. They're not looking for you to be tough. They're not looking for you to be rough. They're not looking for you to tell them you got a Harley when really you don't. They're not looking for you to go speeding off at 100 miles an hour and popping a wheelie. Nobody's impressed with that sort of stuff. So you don't have to perk up and be anything other than who and what you are. And everybody's okay with that. That's the really cool thing about the motorcycle set, is you can be just exactly who you want to be. And for the most part, if you're following protocol, you'll be all right. A couple things to know: if you see two 1%ers from different clubs talking to one another, and they might have 2 or 3 guys flanking them on either side, you don't interrupt that. That's not something you interrupt. If you ever see 2 presidents talking, you don't interrupt that either. You stand away and wait to be recognized, and you stand far enough away that you're not listening to their conversation, or you can't be perceived as listening to their conversation. A lot of times these guys are parlaying, and what they have to talk about is important. What they have to talk about is important, and they don't cotton too well to be interrupted. Let's see. I need to go this way, I believe. Let's see. What does my GPS say? Take the 470. Uh-oh. I think it said do this. I hope so. I have it on Do Not Disturb. I finally learned how to use Do Not Disturb. And Do Not Disturb means exactly that. It won't even tell you what the GPS is supposed to tell you, which kind of sucks. So, like I say, when you come in the door, you introduce yourself to everybody. Oh, here's another one. So let's say you have an outlaw buddy that you've known for a long time, and you guys are pretty decent friends, and he and so when you see him, you greet him and kiss him on the cheek and all that business. If you don't spend the requisite same amount of time introducing yourself to the other outlaw motorcycle clubs, you might see them get a little bit angry at you. Why are you kissing that guy's ass and you're not giving us our respect? It happens. So when you're in that situation, remember that they're all watching you, and everybody wants to receive their requisite amount of respect. So it's a good idea to stay professional and as courteous to one as you are to the other. Another thing to think about is if you have police officers in your club and you're going to go to a outlaw motorcycle club for a meeting, you don't take those police officers to that club. That is never a good idea. Don't do that. It's just not going to be looked at well. So they wouldn't know that your buddy is a police officer that's in your club, but when they find out, it always sucks. The one situation that I know about, something like that happening, the police officer went back to his job and he started bragging to his buddies, "You guys have been trying to do undercover work to get into this club forever, and I was able to just walk in. Ha ha ha." Well, the Outlaw Motorcycle Club had a girlfriend that worked at the police department. So now everybody knew. So that was a kind of an ugly thing that happened, and the club heard about it. So when you go to meet those guys, if you have to go meet them for some sort of meeting or whatever the case may be, you don't do that. In outlaw motorcycle clubs, you don't take cameras and cell phones. You don't pull them out and start snapping pictures. Not a good thing to do. That's not to say that people haven't taken pictures in outlaw motorcycle clubs, but that's definitely going to be something you ask about rather than you just pull out your camera and start snapping. You never want to snap their colors or them in their colors. Most of them have very serious rules about where they can take pictures and who can take pictures of them and things like that. So if you see a 1%er walk by and you think his colors look really cool and you want to have a picture of him, resist that urge. Such a maneuver can be very embarrassing when you get asked on no uncertain terms to delete that picture. So inside the motorcycle club, if you're inside of an outlaw motorcycle club and you want to take some pictures, you need to be asking somebody, and they'll tell you what you can and can't do with respect to that. The last thing you want to do is whip out your camera and just start shooting, or your cell phone. And you don't want to be recording stuff when you're in there. If you get invited in for a meeting, a lot of times they will ask you to leave your cell phone outside. But if you manage to get one in there, make sure that you do not do stupid things that will bring their ire down upon you. Inside of an outlaw motorcycle club, you do not chase after their properties. That's another good way to get it. But that doesn't mean that sometimes a property won't come after you. Not all properties are spoken for, and a property may come up to you and think that you're just the greatest thing since sliced bread. So the appropriate way to deal with that is, first of all, who is your sponsor and who are you with? Oh, I'm not with anyone. I'm my own woman. Yeah. So who is the brother that I can ask permission to be able to talk with and deal with you? So that keeps it above board and on the table. And I've had it happen where brothers of mine have dated properties from outlaw motorcycle clubs, but they were definitely given a blessing to do so, and the rules of conduct, like if you have a problem with my sister, don't put your hands on her, come to me first, or whatever their rules may be. So these are some things that you can think about as you get out and you start to matriculate and you begin to see the other side of the world. It's conducting yourself with professionalism, integrity, being respectful. People don't normally have a problem with that. It's the silliness and the stupidity that normally gets you in trouble. So don't be stupid. Don't ask stupid questions. You know, oh wow, or do you guys kill people? You know, why would you do that? I know it's interesting, but you know, look at Gangland or something. You know, they've got all kinds of videos to look at. If someone does talk to you, if an outlaw talks to you about things and they might seem a little personal or whatever the case may be, for whatever reason you get your ear bent, never repeat it. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to run around and tell everybody, oh my God, such and such talk to me. And stay away from the star envy. There's a lot of people that are just like everything has a groupie. Outlaw motorcycle clubs have groupies too. It's just this star envy, like, oh my God, you're a such and such, and nobody likes that. It's disingenuous. It's not real, and you will be looked at real strange. So don't be so excited. You know what I mean? Just be cool. Just be cool. It's easy. Stay away from the tall tales. A lot of times people want to tell tall tales to make themselves look bigger than they are. Don't talk about things. Oh, another thing. Don't name drop. Name dropping is, you know, one of those silly things. Especially if you're not like 100% sure about it, because you can be called to like, oh really? Well, where do you know that person from? And then you're sitting there looking silly, like. So don't name drop. I know such and such, so you and I should be cool. You won't be cool. That's just not how they get down. Doesn't mean that you can't have fun. Doesn't mean that you can't get to know those guys. Doesn't mean that you can't earn their respect. You can. You can earn their respect. They can like you. You can hang out with them. They're really about their brotherhood, and they're about their friends. And if you're a friend, you will be treated as such. If you're an ally, you'll be treated as such. But they're not as quick to get to know you, and so it takes time. And getting your motorcycle club blessed or anything like that requires some interaction with those guys. So it's best that you think about smart ways, intelligent ways, respectable ways, where you have respect for them and they develop a respect for you. So that's my 2 cents worth on meeting and greeting 1% MCs. I'm sure that for everything I've said, there's probably 100 different other ways to do it, but these are ways that we've gotten along, and they have worked for us. So that's that subject. Keep sending your text messages and IMs and emails, and I will get to them. I'm Black Dragon. If you don't like the video, like it. If you do like the video, like it. Share it. Like my channel, please. That really does help me out if you like my channel. There's a button that's going to pop up after I edit this thing, and you just click on that button, and there'll be another button that pops up here or there, and that'll tell you, point you to another one of my videos. And I really do appreciate you guys looking and watching, and I 0.6 miles. And of course, you can get my books that are on Amazon, and they are also at the prospective web pages. Prospects Bible, prospectsbible.com, Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, prospectbibleforwomen.com, the PRO's Bible, mcprosbible.com, and my newest book, Sergeant at Arms Bible, sergeantatarmsbible.com. All right, you guys can look me up on Facebook, John E. Bunch II, and my email address is blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. I'm back working out, folks, so we'll be getting in shape together. For those of you who want to walk with me, check me out on Fat Boy Getting Skinny on Facebook. All right, have a great evening. Enjoy your motorcycle, and watch out for the nails so you don't ruin your brandy new tires. Get skinny.